Welcome into the Week 13 recap. We have entered the playoffs, and we are already done with the first round of said playoffs. Every game from here on out will be 2-week games, so this was the only 1-week game in the playoffs. With that being said, we'll get to redraft. Number 4, Ben Stiller Virginity defeats number 5, Bills Mafia, 119.63 to 114.09. In this exciting matchup, Ben Stiller Virginity stages a comeback to beat Bills Mafia and advance to the semifinals. An unfortunate end to a roller coaster of a season for Bills Mafia, going 2-8 in the regular season, but miraculously winning the conference championship. Deontay Johnson did most of the work for Ben Stiller Virginity, racking up 105 yards and 2 touchdowns on his 8 receptions. Tyreek Hill couldn't pull through on Sunday Night Football for Bills Mafia, whose season comes to a close early. Number 2, Leftist Tears defeats number 1, no pun intended, 146.14 to 133.81. Leftist Tears refused to be beaten twice by their rivals and uses big days from Cooper Kupp and Kirk Cousins to even the season series at 1-1. Javonte Williams stood out for no pun intended, but had a newly acquired running back, Sony Michel, been started over James Robinson, MPI would have remained undefeated against Leftist Tears this season. Leftist Tears now gets the all-important choice of semifinal opponent. It wouldn't be shocking to see this exact matchup one more time this season, though. Leftist Tears is the winner of the 1 versus 2 game, so Leftist Tears chooses as their semifinal opponent Ben Stiller Virginity. So, weeks 14 and 15. This is 2 weeks, but 1 game. So 2-week games for each of these. Semifinal number 1, the winner goes to the championship. The loser goes to the 3rd place game. Number 2, Leftist Tears versus number 4, Ben Stiller Virginity. Semifinal number 2, winner goes to the championship. Loser goes to the 3rd place game. Number 1, no pun intended, versus number 3, Nico's League. The 6 versus 7 game, the loser goes to the last place game. Number 6, Gumpy Glizzies versus number 7, Scoob the Delinquent. Moving into Dynasty. Number 4, I Am They defeats number 5, Sneezy Raccoon 74, 116.29 to 108.82. I Am They fends off Sneezy Raccoon 74 down to the wire to move on to the semifinals for the 2nd year in a row. It came down to a windy Monday Night Football, where Stefon Diggs couldn't haul in a touchdown on the final drive that would have put Sneezy Raccoon 74 over the hump. Instead, I Am They uses big days from Tom Brady and Antonio Gibson to hold on to the lead and punch their semifinal ticket. Sneezy Raccoon 74 will now await the winner of the 6v7 game, who they'll play in a 2-week game to determine who gets the 3rd overall pick in the 2022 draft. Number 1, Prestige Worldwide defeats number 2, Nico's Dream Team, 141.12 to 118.58. In this 1v2 matchup, Prestige Worldwide easily disposes of Nico's Dream Team, beating them by 22.54 points. Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Rob Gronkowski are the standouts for Prestige Worldwide, combining for 63.7 points between the 3 of them. For Nico's League, Jonathan Taylor shines again, but suboptimal wide receiver play keeps them below the 120-point mark. Prestige Worldwide wins the right to select their semifinal opponent, but again, don't be surprised if we see these teams play each other again this season. Now, Prestige Worldwide is the winner of the 1v2 game, so Prestige Worldwide chooses as their semifinal opponent Nico's Dream Team. So, weeks 14 and 15, once again, these are 2-week games. Semifinal number 1, the winner goes to the championship, the loser goes to the 3rd place game. Number 1, Prestige Worldwide versus number 2, Nico's Dream Team. Semifinal number 2, the winner goes to the championship, the loser goes to the 3rd place game. Number 3, Cumber Dynasty versus number 4, I Am They. And the 6v7 game, the loser goes to the last place game, the winner will play for the 3rd overall pick in the 2022 draft. 6, Stratton Oakmont Inc. versus number 7, the Scoop Empire. That concludes the recap for Week 13. We will not have a Week 14 recap because we will be in the middle of games. So the next recap will be after Week 15 is over. So after the semifinals are done, and we'll go over those games and figure out what comes next. Everyone plays. Every single team plays in weeks 16 and 17. So the final 2 weeks of the season, everyone has a game. And the only game that doesn't matter is the 5 versus 6 game in redraft. It does matter in Dynasty. So the only two teams that are not necessarily playing a game in week 17 or 16 and 17 are the 5 and 6 game people for redraft. Everyone else has a meaningful game. So season's not over yet. And we'll see you back after the conclusion of the semifinals.